I want to read you a comment from YouTube that is a question, so I'm going to read it to you. What if I don't want to get out of the field? I got into this business because I enjoy the work, being outdoors and not having to deal with employees, equipment, payroll. I like being me and making a living doing what I love. So the point of the question is, what if I don't want to build a bigger business like you talk about? What if I don't want to build a team? My answer would be, you need to do what you want to do. That's the entire point of business. That's the beauty of going out on your own and building your own company, is you get to craft a lifestyle and your future around what you want versus going to work and potentially working in an environment or at a company that does not allow you to do exactly what it is you want to do. Now, clearly, there are a lot of jobs out there that will let individuals do what they want to do and build their ideal life as well. However, I agree with you completely, and I do come from the standpoint of you should build a bigger business, and I'll speak to why in a moment. But in your case, if that's what you want, then I would encourage you to build exactly what you want. That's the awesome thing about getting to build a business. The only thing I would challenge you on, when you tell yourself that I don't want any employees, I don't want to deal with payment or payroll or equipment, is that because of a bad experience? Is it because you've heard too many naysayers on forums or on the website, there are no good employees, and as a result, you've become negative to it? Have you ever tried having someone on the truck with you? And maybe you have and it didn't go well. I'd encourage you to give it another try. So maybe there's a compromise. And the compromise is not about building a bigger business, one that has lots and lots of crews and has a leadership team and an office and all that. Maybe there's a in-between where rather what you do is you build up a business where it's you as a foreman and a helper. Or maybe it's you and someone helping you on your truck, and then you have another truck that has one or two individuals on that truck. The reason I would at least advocate for this, if you'd consider it, and again, let's be clear, if that is not what you want, great, build what you want, you should. The reason I'd advocate for that is, having been in the business for a long time, having gotten to know a whole lot of people, having come from other industries and had a lot of experiences, the data says that if you are a one-man operation in a truck, your longevity is not nearly what it could be if you built a bigger business. And by longevity, I mean it generally leads to burning out. And these are generalizations. It does not mean they will apply to you. Just saying the data says you're more likely to burn out. Or let's say you get injured. Something happens you can't take care of. If you have a family, can't take care of your family. Or maybe it's as simple as you are unable to take vacations. You're unable to get time off. In another video I talked about, I believe I've talked about this, how I ended up getting into the lawn care industry. I mowed lawns in the early days. Through high school, I had a couple people working with me. And then my freshman year of college, I got out of the business and I was out for a period of time. And the way I ended up back in the business is we bought a small lawn care company for $7,000 that was doing $50,000 in gross revenue. And with that, or for that $7,000, we also got an old Dodge truck, a trailer, and a Cushman, a big riding lawnmower that was pretty much at the end of its life. The individual I bought that company from was, I believe, in his 50s, latter 50s, and he was worn out. It was his sole income. The reason he was getting out of the business was he couldn't do it anymore for health reasons. He'd been doing it his whole life. And he couldn't sell his company. That's why I ended up buying it for $7,000. So after his entire lifetime of doing this type of work, his body could literally no longer take it, and his exit plan, his retirement, was $7,000. That's why I get concerned about the long term of being me in a truck. If I'm in my 30s, I've got tons of energy, tons of capability. What does my future look like in 10 or 20 years? 10 or 20 years from now, as we move into a new world for technology and all types of other things, if we're predominantly still mowing lawns or trimming bushes or killing weeds or killing bugs, whatever the case may be, as the world continues to evolve on us, as we get older, do we find ourselves in a position of not knowing what to do next in life and not really having any retirement, not having a backup plan? Again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that is your situation. I'm telling you the context from which I come when I say, might you consider building something a little bit bigger? Building something a little bit bigger does not mean you need to build a $5 million business. It may mean nothing more than building out a number of crews so that you have some freedom, so you can go have vacations, you can attend your kids' baseball games, so that if you're sick, your team can keep running the business. So if you've ever had a bad experience with a team member, and that is why you say, I would never want to have an employee, try again. There are some awesome people out there, fantastic people. When you find the right person, you'll enjoy working with them. When you find the right person, you'll find that they help move the company forward and they just take things off your plate. So the summary is, if this isn't for you, if all you want is you in a truck, that's the most awesome thing about being your own boss. You can do that, and I would not in any way discourage you from it. I'd only ask that you consider your options just to give yourself a bigger backup plan in life. Your call.